Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Human Observation Lab. I'm New York, your host and observer of human behavior.
And I'm Wan, ready to dig into some interesting news today. What are we looking at?
Today we're examining three seemingly unrelated news stories that actually share a common thread: the gap between what people say and what they do, and how others react to that disconnect. We'll explore the psychology of selective faith, workplace language, and parasocial relationships. Our first story comes from Reuters. Pope Francis made an unusual statement: God rejects the prayers of leaders who start wars. This is quite significant coming from the head of the Catholic Church.
Wait, that's pretty direct, isn't it? Usually religious leaders speak in more gentle terms, like we should all seek peace and things like that.
Exactly. What makes this statement psychologically interesting is that it directly addresses a phenomenon called moral licensing or selective religiosity. Let me explain.
Moral licensing? That sounds like something I might be guilty of.
It's something we all do. Moral licensing is when people feel that their good actions or intentions give them permission to do something morally questionable. In this context, leaders might believe that praying for peace somehow balances out their decision to wage war.
Oh, I see. Like, I go to church on Sunday so I can be a jerk on Monday kind of thing?
Precisely. The Pope is pointing out a fundamental contradiction in human psychology. Research shows that people who consider themselves moral are sometimes more likely to act immorally because they feel their moral identity protects them from criticism.
That's fascinating. So these leaders might genuinely believe their prayers matter while simultaneously making decisions that cause suffering.
Yes, and this relates to another psychological concept called cognitive dissonance. When people hold two contradictory beliefs, they experience mental discomfort. To resolve this, they might compartmentalize, separating their religious life from their political decisions.
So it's not necessarily that they're being fake. They might actually believe both things simultaneously?
That's the complexity of human psychology. The human brain is excellent at rationalization. A leader might think, I'm praying for a just peace while ordering military action. The prayer becomes a psychological comfort rather than a genuine spiritual act.
And the Pope is calling that out publicly? That's pretty bold.
It is. From a psychological perspective, he's attempting to break the cycle of moral self-deception. By stating that God rejects such prayers, he's removing the psychological safety net that allows leaders to feel morally justified while causing harm.
How do regular people react to this kind of statement?
Reactions tend to split along existing beliefs. Those who already criticize war will see validation. Those who support certain military actions might feel attacked. This is called confirmation bias. People interpret information in ways that support their existing views. Our second story comes from Japan. A male staff member at Miyagi prison received disciplinary action for power harassment against a subordinate, specifically for using the term pankatsu, which roughly translates to useless or incompetent.
I can imagine how hurtful that would be. But why is this news? Don't bosses yell at employees sometimes?
The news lies in the formal recognition of this as power harassment. Let's analyze the psychology behind why superiors use derogatory terms.
Why do people in power use words to hurt others? Is it just because they can?
That's part of it, but there's more. Research in organizational psychology shows that verbal abuse often stems from the abuser's own insecurity or stress. This is called displacement, redirecting negative emotions onto a safer target.
So the boss is stressed about something else, and the subordinate becomes the punching bag?
Exactly. Additionally, there's a phenomenon called punching down. People in positions of power sometimes feel the need to reinforce their status by diminishing others. It's a fragile way to maintain self-esteem.
And the word pankatsu specifically, what makes that term particularly harmful?
The term literally refers to something broken or junk. When applied to a person, it attacks their fundamental worth. Unlike criticizing specific behavior, you made a mistake, this attacks identity, you are a mistake.
That distinction is important. You did something wrong versus you are wrong.
Precisely. The first allows for improvement. The second creates shame and learned helplessness. People who are repeatedly told they're worthless begin to believe it, which actually makes them perform worse.
So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes. And this is particularly problematic in a prison environment, where staff are supposed to model rehabilitation and respect for law. The hypocrisy creates cognitive dissonance for both the abuser and the victim. Our third story involves Japanese celebrity Jin Akanishi, who caused controversy by saying "I want a girlfriend" on a TV program. Viewers reacted strongly, especially considering his reported relationship with actress Alice Hirose, who herself faced criticism for hinting at relationships and for her opinions about marriage.
Wait, why would saying, "I want a girlfriend" cause controversy? That seems pretty normal.
This is where parasocial relationships come in. Parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships where one party knows everything about the other, while the other knows nothing about them. Fans develop feelings of ownership over celebrities.
Ownership? Like they feel the celebrity belongs to them?
In a psychological sense, yes. Fans invest time, emotion, and money into supporting a celebrity. When that celebrity makes life choices that don't align with fan expectations, fans can feel betrayed, as if a personal promise was broken.
But the celebrity doesn't even know these people exist. How is that fair?
It's not fair, but it's psychologically real for the fans. Social media has intensified this effect. Fans feel they have direct access to celebrities, which creates an illusion of friendship or intimacy.
So when Akanishi says, "I want a girlfriend," fans feel like their friend is telling them he wants someone else?
That's one interpretation. Another layer is the concept of fantasy projection. Fans project their ideal relationship onto celebrities. When reality contradicts that fantasy, they experience what we call parasocial breakup, the same emotional pain as ending a real relationship.
And what about Alice Hirose's criticism? What did she do wrong?
She was criticized for two things: Nyaways, subtly hinting at a relationship without confirming it, and for expressing opinions about marriage that some fans found objectionable. The criticism reveals another psychological phenomenon, the policing of female celebrities' behavior.
So female celebrities get more scrutiny?
Research consistently shows this. There's an expectation that female celebrities should be available and pure, while male celebrities can express desire freely. This double standard creates different rules for parasocial relationships depending on gender. What connects these three stories is the gap between expectation and reality. Leaders expect prayer to absolve war. Bosses expect verbal abuse to improve performance. Fans expect celebrities to fulfill their fantasies.
And in all cases, reality doesn't cooperate with those expectations.
Exactly. Understanding these psychological structures helps us see beyond the surface of news stories. It's not just about what happened, it's about why humans behave this way and how we can better understand ourselves.
I think I'll be more aware of my own parasocial relationships now, and maybe check my own moral licensing too.
That's the goal of observation. Understanding others begins with understanding ourselves. Thank you for joining us at the Human Observation Lab. Until next time, keep observing.
See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.